I'm going to admit I have no idea why that was just sitting there against the pole. Either way, what is up everybody and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Some things happened since our last video. I scrapped an entire recording. And because I procrastinated and didn't record it before doing anything with it, or I didn't edit it before like the day it was supposed to upload, I didn't have time to record a new video. So there was a week without a video. Let's go over everything that happened. Between that video and our previous one, I figured out how these Tartaric gems and stuff work. I figured out how the Hellfire Forge works. So essentially, come in here, you put your gem there, and when you're looking at recipes here, you gotta look at the arrow. Thank you to, I think it was Crow in the Discord who mentioned that. Whoever it was in the Discord, thank you. I would never have thought of that. But now I can see how much it actually takes. So I got some petty Tartaric gems made. With those gems, I was able to make a whole bunch of snares and collect a bunch of will. But that's not how I actually filled all three of these. I made a sentient sword, which you get from a petty Tartaric gem and a Dreadium sword with some will. And I have found a nice trick to using this, so I don't actually have to use it, I just have to hold it. I will show you that, guys, in a little bit, because one of the first things I want to try to do for today is I want to upgrade one of our Tartaric gems to a... Is it a lesser Tartaric gem? Yeah, a lesser Tartaric gem. It holds 256 will quality, which right now is more than all three of mine combined. I might make a fresh Tartaric gem just to have a blank one to throw into this. It's not super expensive to do. But the other things we're going to need to make it are pretty expensive. Because we need a gusty core, a fire core, and an aquatic core. And each one of these takes their reagent. I'm going to need to make a bunch of water reagents. The aqua salis, so it takes the tier 1 essence for each. The blood orb, which that is kind of irrelevant. And an empty core, which is also fairly expensive. They take these iridium glass, simple catalyst, and a pulsating crystal. Those things ain't cheap. But also included in what I did in our scrapped video is I have upgraded some stuff. I have added this whole wall of automations here. So we have coarse dirt, sugar, salt, glass bottled lead plates, which the lead plates are actually going into here because it's making pressurized air tanks and windmills, which are needed for the air essence, if I remember right. Either way. I also did a drastic upgrade on our sand, gravel, and cobblestone production because I had no sand. So now I have lots of sand. That shouldn't be a problem anymore. The only other thing I did is I set this guy up, and I actually did this after that video, and it doesn't run the smoothest. I think just because I'm running it through a phantom energy face, but it's functional. I would like it to be a little more functional, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. Maybe if I rotate it 90 degrees, I can get rid of this. You are not supposed to be in here. What is going on over here? Relay power 15. Threshold. Okay, well that's not working. Which means I should have a lever somewhere. I'm gonna have to redesign that part. One. Do I have a lever? I do not have a lever. But one of the things I want to do is I want to just make a stack of them. I'll end up using them in various places. I will redesign this later on, but for now, this is probably more of these mechanical components than we will need. There we go. Well, that made 8.5 stacks of those. I only needed, like, 2. Anyways. Beyond that, I don't think there was really anything that happened. Besides me learning how to use this and the alchemy table. I did make one of each of the essence and one of each of those reagents, which it looks like now we're gonna have to need more. We're gonna need more of. So to be able to make this thing, we need, what is it? The gusty, fire, and aquatic. So that's aether. Ugh. The ones that are more annoying are the reagents, but they're not too bad. Blocks electrum blocks of coal, salt, sugar. Oh, there was one other thing I did change. Well, besides our base and stuff is starting to expand over there. I've got walkways. No. I have a fisher over here. It's an automatic fisher. It's collecting all of this stuff. Most of this is just kind of junk that we don't really need. Like, I don't really need leather or bones or rotten flesh or bowls or sticks. I really don't need any of that. That's why most of this, it's just got a void and there's no upgrades or anything on it. These two we do need. So we're collecting those. There's just a fisher down here. Don't mind the power cell. I just used what I had already. I didn't feel like crafting anything, so I just grabbed something. I've been working on upgrading little things here and there, and I've wound up with some extra power cells and stuff. Like I upgraded our mob farms to dimensional transceivers, and I also made a few changes with that. Either way, things have changed. For our first gym that we're going to make, if I actually do this, I can look at it. So for our gems, I don't know if I have this stuff to make this. No, I don't have hardened iridium glass. So I need some iridium and I need to pulverize it. Okay, that's some iridium glass cooking up. Beyond that, we should have everything else. Let's see. So for these empty cores, it is just simple catalyst and pulsating crystals. I should have all of that stuff. That should give me enough of those to make all of our cores. So I need 1, 2, 3. Now, playing with this thing, I need at least one of these guys. We're going to make a bunch of these reagents and stuff because we need several of them. Well, let's see, we need fluxed electrum. I know that for the lava one. So for the lava reagent, yeah, I need a block of it and a block of coal. And there we go. What do I actually have in here for the reagents? Just one of each. And of course, the dirty is the only one I have multiples of, so either way. Let me grab all the stuff we're going to end up needing for these. How many buckets do I have in here? I have no regular buckets. I have all these Skyrim buckets, though. But I have exactly 2 on me. Well, good thing is, I know where I can grab some. Because in order to make some of this stuff, to make these pressurized tanks, I need buckets. So I have a bucket recipe in there. Do I need them buffered? Probably not. Well, that was a misclick. Because I have 32 buckets of water now. Yeah, I think I have everything. I think. Let's throw those up there. that, and that. It gives us our air reagents. That gives us our water reagents. And that should give our lava reagents. Now for the essence. There's our 4 incendium. We're going to end up needing more of that for other stuff, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We have our aqua salus. And what do we need for aether? A whole bunch of items. Okay, good. I'm done with the buckets. The buckets are the most annoying part. Yeah, I think this is everything I need. And we can get our first... whatchamacallit. Let's stack all 3 of those there. Let's do our air reagent. Need to grab our orb. Our first gusty core. Our water reagent. And aqua salus to give our aquatic core. And our lava reagent. And incendium to give us our fire core. And those gonna go into this. Oh yeah, I gotta make another one of these gems. Let me get that real quick. Okay, we have our petty tartaric gem. And I think we have enough to do this. Require 64 will and it will drain 32 from it. Well, what I can do is I can just swap this out for another one. And I want to test something here. So I made this basic one, but I want to see if it'll hold the will in this one. If it doesn't, it's not that big of an issue. Okay, it doesn't. Either way. Well, now I get to go fill these up. So, one of the nice things I have found out from my explorations. Yeah. Oh, not that one. That one. And I've just been going to Adam to do this. Actually, I was going to up here to Wildwood. And one of the nice little cheats I have found for doing this is if you have the laser gun, you can hold the laser gun in your offhand and the sentient sword in your main hand. So the sentient sword will always drop will when you kill stuff. But I have found, if we look at everything, these 2 are empty and this is at 32. There, how about these guys as our first fodder? They're annoying as hell. And now, we're at 47. So I can run around with a laser gun and I get all kinds of will from these guys. Good lord, look at all the Tomo. And all of our will is full. Even the big one we just got. Anyways, that has been how I have been collecting some will over the last few gems and such. I will go ahead and upgrade a couple more of these gems off camera to get some good ones, but for now, those are not my main focus right now. I can upgrade to the better one, I think. We need the tier 2 essences to get to that. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. And I have looked a little bit deeper. Oh, I need a tier 3 ultra for that. I don't have a tier 3 ultra yet. We'll get there. I haven't exactly nailed down exactly where I want to place this yet. But the arcane ashes. Oh yeah, I could make that whenever I wanted. Oh, I don't have fluxed phytogrow. have to put that through an energetic infuser? I don't have an energetic infuser. Of all things. Oh, well, that, like, takes away one of the only uses for sawdust. Anyways. And look, another gem. Tier 2 essences of where we're at. So we want to make all of these. And the way we're going to end up doing this stuff is... For now, I'm just going to make what we need. And we're going to make kind of the bare minimum. I should have everything in these automated with the exception of the essence and the catalyst. So for Sanctus, that is Aether and Strengthened Catalyst. For Magicalis, that is Incendium and Strengthened Catalyst. We do have all of this stuff coming from other various sources. Crystallis, Snow I have. Packed Ice, do I have Packed Ice? I think I do. If not, I can always add it somewhere. I have a few. That's enough to get us what we need for now. But all set up automations, we actually have that. And Orbis Terrae, which is the most annoying one. Orbis Terrae, we need Emeradic Crystals and Oslo Glass. We also need this Arboreal Essence. Arboreal Essence is the biggest pain out of the tier 2s because it requires a pyre crafting ritual. Am I going to automate that just a second? Probably not. I'm probably just going to bulk craft it. But we have one problem. I do not have hop seed saplings. I don't even think I've seen a biome where they spawn. But you can do a thing to get them. But they are not what I'm focused on at the moment. I don't... It's going to make me do all of this. Ugh. So annoying. Okay, I'm gonna... I need this hop seed sapling. There's a transmutation ritual we can do with roots. It requires an empowered emeradic crystal block and an oak sapling. And that'll give us a hop seed sapling, which I'm hoping I can get some more from. I don't have an oak sapling. Oh, you know what it is? I do have an oak sapling. They're just not actually connected on the wall. I was doing some rearranging over here and over here. Let's make a couple of these saplings. Okay, I had to do a quick test here to be sure, but from what I've known about this hop seed sapling and tree in the past, they are really difficult to farm because they tend to not give saplings. But with a Fortune 3 Matic, I have a Fortune Matic in here. I also have a Fortune Axe because of the trees. The Matic, I believe, works on these ones in the... I don't know why I just put a dark oak sapling there, but there, you can have that back. But because of the fortune on it, it actually does collect a huge amount of saplings. So that's a good thing for that. The other trees, I don't know how many saplings I have of each of them, but might use that to see if I can farm up a few more of each. Because we need Silverbell, Willow, and I'm going to end up adding that into our system over there, onto our wall over there somehow. Our wall over there is kind of getting bigger than it can be. So I may need to do some work to expand it. We need Silver Bell? What? The willow sapling, eucalyptus, maple, amaranth. I was certain I had these saplings. Yeah, because we have tigerwood logs. Okay, there's a tigerwood sapling. I have one. Silverbell logs. I think I can get those in Twilight Forest. Let me see if I can go get some. Okay, I got a few of them. So now I can figure out how I'm going to farm these. I may set them up kind of like how I have the dark oak tree where it only plants one. Let's see. Hopseed. You can go in there for now. Maple, I don't care. Those ones... I didn't get any tigerwood saplings out of that. Oh, I chopped down the wrong tree. Either way, I can do this one here since I already have one. There, that gives us 9 of them. That should be plenty for what we're doing. So for the rest of this essence, we need hardened blood droplets. I think I have some ready. I have enough. Let's go ahead and cook these up over here. And we can get our first arboreal essence. There. 20 of those should last us for at least the end of the video. We've got our 20 arboreal essence. We are migrating to some alchemy table work for now. And I need to make sure this is filled up with blood again. I've been slacking on that part. I completely forgot that to make these strengthening catalysts, I need iron and 10 clumps. Which come from ore in a purification chamber. Well, that should be pretty easy to get. Do I have all that stuff? I am trying to remember. Do we have... Is there a gas terminal? Because I know I have several gases on our system. There is a gas terminal. Okay, gas terminal added, but I am pretty certain that there was somewhere down here that we had a machine producing oxygen. What that machine was, I do not remember. You know what it was that I'm thinking of? It's the, when we made our first plastic. We needed it for that. But other than that, I don't think we've really needed it for anything. But this is something that we're definitely going to need it automated for. So we're going to go ahead and get a setup for it. It was not crafting them because I used them to make the gas tanks. Okay. I need a good spot to be able to stick this, because it's not something we're really going to use a lot of. It can just kind of be wherever. Anywhere I have some spare channels. I don't know if I can squeeze it in down here. Good grief, this corner is a mess. I'm not going to be able to put anything into this. Does hydrogen actually get used for anything? For hydrogen chloride. I don't need that. Or make sulfur. I think hydrogen chloride is something I can use. Yeah, to make the shards of each of them. But I want to say I saw something that somewhere you could get, oh, maybe it's sodium chloride you can get from salt. Either way. Am I getting chlorine from anything? From brine. I have this chlorine somewhere up there with the industrial leather. I know that one. There we go. Now we have oxygen and hydrogen production. Well, I should have access to this stuff upstairs. Anyway, this purification chamber, I'm going to go ahead and slap it down like right here. think I have exactly one channel available for me to be able to do anything with it here at the moment. Let's grab an export bus. I'm gonna have to grab an oxygen tank, maybe. Okay, so this is getting oxygen. I should be able to just shove some ores through here. And what do I have for iron ore? I have plenty. About that much. Give me enough of these that I don't have to think for a while. Oh. Oh, right. What if I actually gave this some power? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm going to run this for a little while. The other one we needed was 10. Do I have any tin ore? I do. I'm going to grab all these clumps for our iron and tin. And I'll see you guys. Oh, actually, here. Hang on. No, we needed them for the strength, the catalyst, which I need for all of them anyways. Okay, yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute. Well, I think I have enough for us to do what we need to. That should give us plenty of the... What was that? Strengthened catalyst? So we got plenty of that. And to make our first essences over here, the one I'm really interested in is this magic callus. But to make our first sanctus essence, I need holy stone. What is that? Glowed crystal, holy stone, glowstone, and hardened electrum glass, which I do have in here. I did automate that. That should be everything for this one. And there's our first sanctus. Now for Orbis Terrae, it's not too much. We need our Terrae, emeradic crystal, and osglow glass. We got those, and our boreal essence gives our first Orbis Terrae. What am I going to do with these? Nothing. Crystallos is packed ice, snow, and our Aquasalis. There's our Aquasalis. I have snow automated, so I don't have to worry about that. We have snowflake shuriken still. Nice. And then I have a little bit of packed ice. And there's our first Crystallos. Straight into the system. Okay, the one I really care about. Magic Callus. We need Incendium, Cyclops Eye Shards, Pereskia, Draconium Ingot, and Ender Shards. That's a pile of stuff. Can I stop stepping up on that? And this should be our last one. There's our Magic Callus. And that gives us our quest for Tier 2 Essences. That gives us some Strength and Catalyst back. But that unlocks the Bowl of Promises. Which this is where we've been trying to get to. So to make it, we need 5 of these Dark Power Gems and an Aquasalis. Oh, I need to make another Aquasalis. Okay, we have our 5 Dark Power Gems. And then some Aquasalis. I made some extra just because. This is our Bowl of Empty Promises, which we then combine with some Magic Callus and Crushed Dark Gem, which I have over here. In here, did I get that wrong? 200 will. Okay, well. Guess that's why I got this Tartaric gem here. Low quality, 256. Oh, there's a spike in here too. Yeah, well that's not too bad to make. Especially because I have these iron spikes automated. Yeah. Basic spikes will also drop mobs XP. Mobs killed by spikes do not count as player kills. Okay, well, I get that. That is really hard to see in the UI. But there we go. We have our first filled bowl of empty promises. And all we do with this is just fill it up with blood. And that's going to take a minute. And here we have our first bowl of promises. Doesn't look like much, but it is moving. So our first bowl of promises gives us 4 ender crystals. This 20 durability tool. Oh, that's arcane ashes. There we are. You vaguely gesture at the possibility of you following up. It gives us a bowl of empty promises, which I'm fine with. I can use that to make another one of these. But now we can finally make our Promise of Tenacity 1. This can be used in a couple evil craft machines, but most importantly in the blood infuser where it unlocks new recipes. To make this, I need 2 of these bowls of promises. I have a second one that I'm going to have to... No. This one. And I'm going to have to fill, which means I need another Magicalis. It means another Incendium. Okay, so here we go. We got 2 bowls of promise. 2 bowls of promises. Strength 0. Our Iron Promise Acceptor. 2 Cosmic Alloys, some Empowered, and Nori Crystal to give us our first Promise of Tenacity 1. And I'm going to immediately put you in here. Look at the capacity on that. We're up to 40,000. I guess I'm going to go out hunting for blood again. I've just been stashing it away in this tank. I have to use that as an intermediary, because I can just shove the blood extractor in here and it'll drain it and fill it into there. Whenever I go out like collecting will and stuff, I get blood while I'm at it, just for having that in my inventory. I can't complain too much. But that gives us some Cosmic Alloy back, which is going to go right in here. I already have it automated. And with that, we can move forward with some very slow but useful blood automation. So the undead sapling is something that we can make. It is a dead bush with 25,000 blood. I think I have a dead bush somewhere. Let's see. I have a dead bush. And I got plenty of blood. So this should give us a tree. And I'm not going to plant it just yet. Grows an undead tree. Now, the reason I'm not going to plant it just yet is because you want to place this tree somewhere where you can place, kind of like I have this setup. If you haven't been paying attention. I have this random tree here. Yes, it looks good, but it also serves a purpose. Down below, this trunk actually extends further down than it looks, because down here, an arboreal extractor collecting resin. Now, you can use the undead trees, the undead saplings, to grow a tree and do this exact same thing, and it gives you blood. It does not give you a lot of blood, but it is a slow, steady source of blood. I think... Look, it gives us some saplings. Awesome. The real use for them is this frozen blood core. Because you use the undead logs and an iron promise acceptor with some icy cores. Make your frozen blood core, which is used to make your magician blood orb. I'm not going to be working on that yet. I can push quite a bit deeper into evil craft right now. And this is where you get real blood automation. So we have a gold promise acceptor to make, which isn't too bad. It's just empowered glod and 40,000 blood. But to make it into the Promise of Tenacity 2, I need more bowls of promise and some holy cores, which are Sanctus and haste reagents. The haste reagent is going to be annoying because of the potions. I hope this isn't used in a lot of things. It's used in a lot of things. Oh my gosh. Really? You're gonna make me automate cookie jars. Of all things to have to automate, I have to automate cookie jars and potions of haste. Sanctus, all this stuff is already automated. All this stuff, except for aerogel, I already get. But really, cookie jars? Why cookie jars? Okay, well, I want to take a look at this. So, Promise of Tenacity 2, it doesn't show me what's in there. I don't know. Oh, is that dull dust? Is that what that actually is called? There's quartz dust, iron dust. Where is evil craft? Dash dust. Dull dust. White boring dust. Where is it? Look, good grief, that requires a couple of the reagents. And crepitus. Is that a tier 3 reagent? That's gonna be painful. Either way, this dull dust, I think, is what we need to make ritual dismantler, bloody dust, to make the spiked plates and sanguinary pedestals. Okay, so these are what you use to actually automate blood. Place on pedestal to drain blood. Drains blood-stained blocks in this area. Okay, so you use one of these and a sanguinary pedestal with a mob farm of any kind, just whatever mob farm you feel like doing. And you can use that to essentially give yourself an infinite blood source, and it does actually generate it. That is going to be something it's going to take a little while to get to. I can hopefully try to have that done next time. But we got... It doesn't seem like a lot of progress. But it's these essences are so painful to craft. Then again, I look back at some of the recipes and stuff that we were doing early on, and yeah, some of those are also incredibly painful to craft at the time. So I'm sure this stuff will get a lot easier. It's just going to be getting there. I hate these kinds of mods that have a resource like blood, or in this case, life essence and will, that you can't really automate early on. From what I know, will automation isn't until all the way over here. And I think you can get blood automation around the same time. Or life essence automation. With wherever the that ritual of something well. I don't know, my brain is half fried. Anyways, it looks like I have a number of automations to try to set up. I have extended our structures over here. You can see my builder set up. I was using that to dig this one down. I think I still have a pile of stuff in here. Yeah. But it's ready to go when I want to bring Evilcraft over here. So we're going to have Evilcraft in here underneath our Abyssalcraft setup. I kind of can't wait to get back to Abyssalcraft. I like this mod. It's painful, but I like it. It's a good pain. I gotta finish my pathways over here. And I gotta finish figuring out where I want to actually put our blood altar. Look at our base. This is a very big base already. That doesn't even include the... There, you can get a timestamp of when I'm recording this. That doesn't even include the giant amounts of stuff that are going on underground. Like, we're at ground level right here. That doesn't include the 5 floors below me. Sorry, 4 floors below me. I had it ready to do a 5th floor. I don't know if we're actually going to or not. Yeah, we haven't even like really filled up this floor. Also haven't figured out what I'm doing over here. Either way, that's gonna be it for this time, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I also, at some point, am going to redesign this. I'm not exactly happy with how this is turning out, but I'll figure something out. I just got an idea. I got some experimenting to do. Anyways, that's it for this time, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Get rid of that.